Yeah, it started.
Yeah, so
So we can start with
the
your Ashes memories, Anand.
yeah, so I have lot of memories like Ashes under in Down Under in Australia. It all started from 2002
Mhm.
edition. Like I started working from there, and the first memory lies like Nasser Hussain calling wrong call at Brisbane and injuring his bowler to Simon Jones and Hayden. I think Ricky Ponting and Hayden piled up 360 something on day one, and Simon Jones he got injured on outfield, very nasty injury, and he was ruled out. Then 2006, that Harmison white ball. This you have seen
Yeah,
like everyone knows this white ball, which like describe the series how this basically set the tune how the series will go. And in 2010, Seattle's hat trick, and then England decimated Australia post that. 2013, broad white ball four. I mean broad ball to Warner and he smashed to the four. And 2017, Smith,
yeah,
Australia was four down. Then Smith at his peak, like Smith was in peak during 2015 to 2020, and then he saved Australia. He scored 140 something. And 2021, everyone knows Roddy Bunster. Yeah, one thing I want to say, like in down under, like Australia one-sided, and I don't think I have saw any thrillers game like in Australia. I mean, either it's like 2010 type or complete 5-0 type. But in UK, I mean, when Australia tours England, we have seen many classic games like 2005, 9, 2020, 2019 headingly
Y-
won, 2023, like every match went to the wire.
yeah. It was
I
all
mean,
very close
this is,
series.
yeah, so this is the only, I mean, down, I mean, what we can say, like, this rivalry lives up to hype in UK, but in England, UK, but in Australia, I think it's more like Australia is more dominant. Yeah, and this
And
time I think,
Krishna, what about you?
Yeah, my favorite Ashes memory is 2019. Ben Stokes single-handedly won that match because it was if you see Kaushik, uh, England was means starting England were cruising in that match, but suddenly Josh Hazelwood collapsed the English batting lineup. Then it was only 2 wickets or three wickets left for Australia to win the Ashes. Then no, then nobody knew that Ben Stokes would play such an innings with the tailenders. It happens once in a lifetime in Test cricket. Kaushik, uh, like we saw that Kusal Pereira show against South Africa in the South Africa series. Same way, Ben Stokes stood up alone in that match and won that match. Otherwise, England would have lost that Ashes series. And that was the one of the historic matches in England Test cricket because nobody plays uh, such an innings in such a high run chase. That too, it was 350, 340, 300 plus run chase, and you were alone. And Team Payne also costed it the Ashes for Australia also. Otherwise, Australia would have won the Ashes also that time. If Team Payne would have taken that review, then Australia would have won the Ashes there itself only. So that review also, which Team Payne blunted, that also costed Australia the Ashes. So it was, if you see, it was a heartbreaking match for Australian fans because nobody thought that Australia would lose this this match in such a fashion. And if you see other Ashes matches in Australia, when we travel, then it becomes a one-sided match. in Ashes series. In that, in whenever England tours Australia, it becomes one-sided matches. Australia dismantles England team completely. Uh, so and but in past matches in 2012, Alistair Cook scored many runs. Um, when he toured in that series in Australia, he have scored many runs in Australia, Alistair Cook. So he was the man who stood in the Australian conditions like Dravid and Sachin. Means he used to stand in the crease and not get out and face bowlers like Johnson, Stark, and that all bowlers. Such a fiery bowling lineup of Australia he used to face, and he used to not get out only. So he's the only player who is to stand tall in that Australian pitches for a long time and score 200 runs in each series. If you see in 2000, I think in 2013 also he scored double hundred. In Gaba also he has scored double hundred. Melbourne also he scored double hundred. So he is the only player who's to stand tall in the Australian pitches. Otherwise, it was completely dominated by Australians. In if you see the whole Ashes series, they used to dominate England in every matches. If you see Kaushik, Steve Smith used to score runs against his favorite opponent England. In English conditions also, he has scored many runs. Steve Smith and the one Jofra Archer and Steve Smith incident also. Hello, Kaushik went.
No, I came back. My internet got dropped. I think it said something went wrong.
Yes, yes. No, then there is to be lot of fun in this Ashes. Whenever we say it is Australia versus England, so when we play in Australia, it is one-sided, but in England, it is competitive Test match cricket going on. So that is the case, and we have to. And Ricky Ponting was also one of the legends who has won many Ashes tours, and he used to also dominated England cricket like what Steve Smith used to do now.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm very keen on yours. Your favorite Ashes memories?
Yeah, I've been following SS since 2005, and the very
Mm-hmm.
first series, the 2005 one, will is one of the most important, most iconic series that we have ever had in the sport. And
True.
I can clearly remember on day one of the first test, uh, English bowlers went all out and they hit Hayden, Langer, and Ponting back to back in the very first hour. And
Mm-hmm.
neither of the English bowlers went and even asked Australians how they were, and it was clearly a message that they were going all out in that series. And just I recently heard Justin Langer say that that was one of the most brutal spell of fast bowling that he had ever faced. And this is Justin Langer, who is supposed to be one of the great toughest characters in Australian cricket, who
Most
once played
gritty
a
cricketer.
test
Yeah, I
who
was
once
saying.
played a test match after being after getting concussed to help Australia win in South Africa 2006, if you remember. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Second test.
And then during the second test in 2005 also, if you clearly remember that Steve Harmison's slower ball to dismiss Michael Clark on
No,
fourth day of the
Simon Jones, no? Simon Jones. It was Simon Jones who dismissed
Steve
Michael Clark.
Harmison, I guess. No, Steve
Okay.
Harmison also bowled a slower ball in that
No,
second
no, it was
test.
Simon Jones. It was Simon Jones.
Simon Jones bowled that reverse swing.
Yeah, to Clark only.
Yeah, Clark only. Yeah. So and then as on the final day of the second test in 2005, as Australia were launching a great comeback with Shane Warne and Brett Lee,
Yeah.
107 runs needed, and they had a partnership there. And unfortunately, Shane Warne got hit wicket, if you remember. So
Yeah,
those were the
Yeah.
those were the moments which appeared small at that time, but they are quite iconic because they eventually decided the outcome of the series. And
yeah,
uh, so it was a iconic series 2005. Then during the uh, final test also, you see Kevin Peterson got dropped
yeah. Shane
by
Warne. Shane
and
Warne.
then he went on to play a match winning 158, a series winning, I would say, because the match ended in a draw, but England won the series. So come to 2006, if you see the first ball Steve Harmison ball was a wide, massive wide, and
To
it sort
Philippines.
of like everything sort of went wrong for England in that series. If you see second test in Adelaide, like no one ever
Mhm.
thought that England would lose that test because the final day they had eight wickets remaining. They had a lead of 100 runs, like 150 maybe, and they collapsed. They capitulated, and then Australia went about it and they scored the final runs. They completed the chase in the final session only. And I think also England gave up in that moment only. Like
Yeah,
then the third test in Perth, Adam
Gilchrist.
Gilchrist smashed 57 ball 100. Uh,
Yeah.
so
He was
plus
out of
batsmanship.
form until that
Yeah, it
point,
was
right? And
he
then he
scored a duck in that first innings. So it's like
yeah. And then the
and
second
come the
fastest century in Test cricket.
and in the fifth, if you see the fifth test of that series, like Langer, Martin, Langer, McGrath, Shane Warne, everyone retired on a
One
high.
retired. Yeah. And also in the fourth test, in the Boxing Day test, famous for Shane Warne's 700th wicket,
700 wicket.
and
Yeah.
also
So,
and also famous for Andrew Simon's first ever Test century.
test century. Yeah. Again,
Yeah,
yeah, he like I would say like he enjoyed it, and more than him, he was a batting partner Matthew Hayden. I guess he enjoyed it even
Yeah,
more
he
because
recently
it
spoke
was.
about it.
mm,
and
Simons was loved. Simons
yeah,
was one of those characters who was loved by everyone. Like
Roy.
Yeah.
Ponting, Hayden, Gilchrist, everyone respected him. Uh, Unfortunately, Michael Clark
Yeah.
didn't have a good relations with him, and sort of
I
Simons
mean,
also.
Yeah.
it
And
started in
also
that
it's like
2005 too,
2006.
right? It started in that 2005 too. Like he came into the like dressing room and he was kind of drunk or two before Bangladesh came, and he came in the dressing room, and that sort of thing distracted the team, and Australia go on to lose that Cardiff game against Bangladesh in 2005. So he also had his share of disciplinary issues, like in 2005 starting. But in 2008, that monkey jet against India, that broke him apart. Like no one supported him, so it was the end of it.
Yeah,
Bonding supported Andrew Simon since that 2003 World Cup. I mean, he was he fought for him like to include in the squad, and he scored 143
I
against Scotland.
I recently heard a podcast by Brad Haddin on the 2007 World Cup, and John Buchanan was the Australian coach then, and he saw Simons in drunken state, and he was planning to have Simons kick out of the team, but Gilchrist saved him by saying that even I got drunk, so even I am supposed to leave the team or what? So because Gilchrist was the senior most member, one of the senior most members, so
Vice
Buchanan
captain
said
of the
like,
team.
and also the vice captain of the team, so Buchanan had to like ignore it completely because
Yeah.
had Gilchrist not intervened there, Simons would have been thrown out of that team also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Cause
so
it tell
because
about
Also, the
after,
2006 series, 2006, 2007, that Ashes series
see
is like
all
the
this
is like the
I
series
see
where all, or
Ponting.
for our generations, every one of that peak Australian team played, because Ricky Ponting played, Hayden played, Langer played, McGrath, Vaughan, Bretley, then Martin, Hussey,
Stuart Clark.
Gilchrist, everyone played. So
Stuart
it's
Clark.
like yeah, so it was like the last series or the only series where all these legends had a play in that series.
No, they played before also when Steve Waugh was there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah,
would say
yeah.
this was a final swan song, fitting farewell for the Aussie legends. Like McGrath
Yeah,
for
but
the wicket of the.
when Steve Waugh was there, Clark wasn't there, right? Clark was yet to debut when Steve Waugh
But
was still
yeah,
there.
but in 2006, Clark wasn't also a legend. He was a newcomer,
Yeah.
if you see.
For
Clark,
me,
like,
I was very young for 2005 and 2006, but I do remember, because Ashes, everyone watches the Ashes, and my dad was watching, and I remember that last ball wicket of McGrath. That is the only memory I have from that series. I was too young at that time, but
mhm.
then my first Ashes series which I watched was 2009, but again I don't remember much. In 2010, I remember, but it was
In
all one-sided
2009,
for England. What?
2000, in 2009, Monty Panesar and James Anderson batted for more than
Cardiff,
11 overs to save
yeah, Cardiff Test,
England in Cardiff.
first Cardiff Test.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and in
So
that
Cardiff.
series also, Australia lost at Lords after like 70 or so, 75 or 70. Yeah, something like that. Australia lost at Lords after many years, decades, second test.
it
And
was
then
a.
Australia made a comeback at Headingley. Seidel,
Mhm.
Pfeiffer, and Johnson also took a 5. And
And
then
it was
series went at Oval, and Jonathan Trott, Stuart Broad, these guys decimated Australia. Like 160,
it was
Australia was dismissed.
it was Flintoff's finest series, and he also made an impact
Yeah, Harbison also,
during
no?
the.
Was Marcin Harbison also, no?
Maybe, but Flintoff
But I
was
think the
clearly stuck.
biggest go on.
Yeah, Freddie Flintoff, it was
Yeah,
final
but
test.
I
Yeah,
think
I
the
know.
biggest impact any series had was the 2013 series, in which after Mitchell Johnson's, like, not the first series, because the first series was played in England, and then it was the reverse series in Australia. And at that time in Australia, it was Mitchell Johnson series, 36 or 37 wickets. And while playing cricket with my friends, it had so much of an impact that everyone were just bowling bounces to while bowling. So it was like that was the series which had a huge impact on the whole cricket fans, like all over the world, because every bowler, every young kid who was playing wanted to like genuinely bowl bounces, bowl fast, bowl bounces, and hurt the batsman.
Yeah, and then
Johnson,
Johnson went to South
Johnson,
Africa. Johnson went
yeah,
to South
Johnson
Africa
not.
after that series and sent Graham Smith to like Graham Smith was in top form preceding to that series, and he literally like made John Smith to like retire early. I mean, Smith was in top form and he retired at 34 something, and he blew up South Africa like 22 wickets in 3 matches, and that hostile bowling at century at first game. I mean, I have never seen that type of hostile bowling ever. I mean, that South Africa batsmen were like jumping also, and they literally made a flat deck in second and third game to counter Johnson.
During the 2013-14 series, George Bailey also smashed 28 runs in
Yeah,
one over of
Anderson,
In
James
one over
Anderson.
of Anderson, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
Spurs.
And
and he
also when
played.
he was fielding at short leg, and he was singing a song which triggered James Anderson into it provoked James Anderson, and then Clark came, stood up for him, and said that famous line, "Get ready for a broken arm."
Yeah, yes. And Bailey only played 5 tests, I guess, and he won all of
Yeah,
them.
that series was it.
Yeah, yeah, and he was immediately replaced with Alex Dool, right, in the South Africa series
Yeah,
immediately after.
Alex Nolan. Yeah, he took two magnificent catches. I mean, in
Yeah,
backward point.
short leg, yeah.
Forward short leg. Sorry, backward short leg.
And
Yeah,
then,
and then
but overall for me, the most painful sports event was the 2019 Ashes, the Headingley Test, because as you all might already know, it was my birthday also that last day when Stokes hit it, and the first innings
That no
after first
cricket
innings
fan will
already
remember ever. Means
all Australia fans started celebrating after the first innings because it was 67 all out. England was 67 all out. Also, it was the first match where Pattinson played with uh, Hazelwood and Cummins. So Pattinson, Hazelwood, Cummins was like a dream for many Australian fans because Stark was already conceding a lot of runs and people were against him. But these three together, because they were always battling injuries, and they were together, and it was the first innings, and they bowled England out for 67. And then, but then after, like I mean, all England in all Australia fans started celebrating that we won the Ashes, we won the Ashes. But then that last innings, it screwed up the whole.
that Tim Paine spoiled everything for Australia. Kaushik, that Tim Paine spoiled everything for Australia. Means that one review which he
Yeah,
burned, he completely dismantled the hopes of Australian fans.
yeah, it was a desperate review.
Nathan Lyon also fumbled in the end.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
also
have
catches
to
dropped.
have to give credit to Lathan Leon. I mean, after that mishap, run out. Miss, I mean, as a bowler,
So,
no one can make a comeback like this. I mean, just he got
see,
him out, but there was no review.
winning a test series in England is quite difficult. Like England will let you win a test or two, but they don't. They hardly lose series. Since
Yeah,
But
and
they
2012,
won.
they
But New Zealand won series in England conditions 1-0 in
see.
2021 before the WTC final.
See, I am
yeah,
saying that since 2012, England haven't lost a series of 3 or more tests, home series, since 2012. So,
mm-hmm.
and winning a 2 test series is quite different from winning a 5 test series or a three
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
as
four
you
test
found,
series.
yeah, as you found in
And
2023, Australia was leading 2-0. If it was a three-game series, Australia would have won the Ashes. I mean, just
yeah,
And
like
even in
winning the
the
five
two,
match series. I would also say like winning a series, test series in India and England, South Africa is a greater achievement than winning WTC one of them. I mean, for personally, it's my opinion. Like winning five match series in South Africa or India or England, it's better than WTC. Final.
yeah, definitely. Like,
but even Australia lead the Ashes series 2-0, where the first match where Cummins won the match. He chased at Baston, Birmingham. He chased that score of 270 plus runs. Then and that was a foolish decision by Stokes, which all the memes came out in the newspaper, that he declared in the first innings, where Joe Root was batting in high, means in high quality. He was batting in a high level, means he scored a century also in that. And then also Stokes declared in that test match also Cummins won in at Baston, Birmingham. So after leading 2-0 also, Australia couldn't win the Ashes. That was also uh, this thing disappointment, means even after leading 2-0, couldn't win series in England.
and
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
and
here's one
also
stat
if
for you
for
guys.
rain, Australia might
La-
have even
listen,
lost the series.
listen.
Series,
Here's one
yes.
stat for
Even
you guys. One
Yeah, go
statistic.
on now.
In the last 14 years, Australia have only twice chased down 280 plus in fourth innings. One was Pat Cummins' debut test in South Africa, 2011,
Hmm.
and the other was Ashes 2023 first test. And in both those tests,
Exactly.
Pat Cummins made an important contribution with the bat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And the third one came in New Zealand 2024. That in that
uh,
match
uh,
also Australia said
so 3 times,
280.
and
Yeah,
even
and
there Cummins was there.
Cummins was a non-striker
Yeah.
and he scored winning
It
run.
was with he also spoiled
Yeah,
Carey's
Carey was robbed of Carey
century,
was
if I'm
robbed of
not wrong.
century. 98. He was on 98.
Yeah.
And if you
But
if you
old,
remember
but
Adam,
old Australian side was unbeatable in Ashes cricket. Means the side of Michael Clark, Steve Waugh,
Yeah,
then
they didn't
Lyndon's
lost Ashes.
Simons. Then they
They
all
lost
were
Ashes.
unbeatable.
Yeah, from 1989, Alan Border won in England 4-0 4-1 till 2005 for 16 years. Like Australia didn't lost any Ashes series, and Glenn McGrath is a player who never lost Ashes series. Like in 2005, England won two games. Glenn McGrath wasn't there, and the two match he missed, England won both games. So Glenn McGrath and Shane Warne, I think these two players never lost Ashes series.
throughout the 90s, England were a mediocre side, and most of the players carried that baggage, mental baggage. Like they never stood any chance against the Australians. They, and in 2005, they got a talent in Kevin Peterson. So
I mean,
and
I saw, yeah, I mean, lead up to that 2005 passes, England were in like desperate form. I mean, terrible, what can you say? England was in outstanding form. Like from 2004, they won in West Indies 3-0, then 5 past West Indies and New Zealand in home summer. Then went to South Africa uh, later that year and won 2-1. So they were like informally leading up to 2005, and there was nothing to separate between the two sides. Like this, I remember.
one of the regrets that I have as a cricket fan is that Graham Thorpe could not win an Ashes in his career because he was one of
Yeah,
England's finest cricketers during the 90s. And
yeah,
during Ashes 2005, he got replaced by Kevin Peterson, and
Kevin Peterson.
Thorpe then announced his retirement. And so it was like Thorpe deserved an Ashes win for the kind
Yeah,
of
Graham
And
Thorpe.
last time
performance he
when
gave.
England won
2005.
Ashes in Australia, that time Alistair Cook and Kevin Peterson and that team was a very strong team of England, where Alistair Cook single-handedly was destroying the Australian bowlers. If you notice, in
Yeah,
every
yeah,
main parts of Australia's grounds, he used to score bulk runs. That was the last time England won Ashes in Australia. After that, they have every time struggled whenever they have played in Australia.
yeah. 2010, no, like I mean, Australia lost three matches all by innings, and those are the heavy debates.
Yeah,
Ricky
after that,
Ponting was
Australia have dominated Ashes in Australia and even in England. Means they haven't lost badly or this thing. They have lost by close margins.
Like the only positive thing from 2010 Ashes was like Peter Siddle getting a hat trick on his
Hat
birthday,
trick,
yeah,
birthday.
and
Yeah.
Steve
and
Smith showing also
yeah,
showing some glimpses of his batting while
Uh,
batting with the
Also,
tail in
Michael Hussey
Sydney.
coming back to form, right?
Hmm. But Siddle getting a hat trick with Mark Taylor's commentary
yeah,
is like one of the iconic moments of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, if you guys remember, in 2013 during the English series, at least in India, we had that song as advertisements. You hit me once, you hit me once, I hit you back. You remember that?
Can't remember right now. Like we have to see. But if you have the video, you can send us.
Yeah, I will send it to you later. Okay, then we can move on to discuss the Ashes squads. I will try to I will try to add the picture here. 1 minute, I'm trying, guys. Or maybe you can start with Australia squad, discussing the Australia squad. I will try to display the picture on the screen.
Yeah, so I mean, in the recent week, there was a update like Cummins was already injured. Now Hazelwood also broke down. So Australia will be without Cummins and Hazelwood for first test, and England, their Markwood was cleared of injury. The rest squad remains the same. I mean, uh, like Marnus Labuschagne is coming into the team, and England, Ben Stokes has come. I mean, he's fit and fine now. And yeah, I mean, if you go by the Shield form, it's anyone's game, man. Can't the gulf and class between the side little too is separate. I think very likely this time. I think if I go by the warm-up game of England, they fielded four pacers this time. So very likely they will go with four persons in Perth also. First game, Wood Archer, uh, Tong, and that guy. Cards, and maybe spinner will be Root or Harry Brook. I mean, but in Australia case,
And
Star, Scott Boland, and Doggett, I think, and Leon.
What about Michael Nesser?
No, he is behind the queue.
yeah, who do you
Now,
think should play, Brendan Doggett or Michael Nesser?
Doggett, because he has been performing in Shield. I Nessa, I don't think he has been for. I mean, Fergus would have been selected ahead of this.
Yeah, same. Arnav, what do you think, Michael Nesser or Brendan Doggett?
Isn't Hazelwood playing?
No, he's out of the
Hazelwood
first test.
So then I think they will go with Dodgett. And I think I have heard that I have read reports that Michael Nesser will be there in Brisbane.
Do you see? I mean, how do you think? I mean, do you see Cummins playing any game this is?
Yeah, he
I
will
don't think.
definitely play in the third, fourth, and fifth test. I am not sure about the second test, right?
I mean, he has a bone stress. I mean, stress factor. I don't think he will be
I saw him
available.
I saw him practicing in the nets.
Yeah,
So
but
maybe he will.
practicing and bowling in full tilt is a different thing.
I think he will be
So
given one shield game, and they will look at his condition and they will assess the situation.
yeah, so I think he will not be available at least till third. I mean, yeah, second or third game.
So the thing with stress fracture is you should not be rushed back into any cricket.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah,
disastrous in the long
yeah.
run. So
Yeah, India lost Bumrah, no? Like in 2022, and he went out for 1 more year.
yeah, but if Australia lose the first test or the second test, or if they go down badly, then there will be pressure on them to get back to Cummins. So, because see, Cummins
Cummins
is a
also
match
has
winner. Like
stated that he is on track to play second
even
test.
see last year also Pakistan were doing well against Australia, and it was Cummins who then who, who used to turn the tide in Australia's favor. So
Yeah, MCG game.
But I think in
because
that match,
Cummins,
Scott Boland didn't play, right? Scott Boland would have taken more wickets, means compared to Hazelwood. I think Scott Boland will be more effective in Australian pitches.
yeah, Boland is a massive plus. Boland, like look what he did to India also. So Boland definitely is a huge plus.
Yeah,
And
I
even in
mean,
West Indies, he took a hat trick.
I mean, he gets dubbed out for no reason.
But one aspect about Boland is that he hardly gives any free deliveries. He hardly balls any bad balls in Australia.
I feel Australia
So
would have won the WTC final against South Africa if Boland would have played instead of Hazelwood.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely,
Hazelwood
maybe
was
like
start.
luck was not there
Hazelwood
with
was
Australia
start.
during the
I think
WTC
start.
final. I would say
Yeah,
like
that's the main thing.
during the fourth innings, batting got quite easier for South Africa.
Yeah. It wasn't fourth innings, it was like from day three it became easy.
Yeah,
Day
when
sorry,
Hazelwood when
day three.
Stark were batting.
Yeah, because I and Jay we were at the game and the first 2 days, uh, two innings got over in the first 2 days itself. In the third day, it was only Stark and Hazelwood batting, and they put 50 runs on the first session of day three, and then it was South Africa's turn to bat, and it was bright sunshine. There was no clouds, no overcast conditions, and it was like flat pitch. So it was just
Yes, South
great.
Africa got the best of bowling conditions on day one, and they got
Yeah,
the best of batting conditions on day four, day three, and day four.
yeah,
Bat and coming back to the Australian 11, I would say like they should be thinking of playing Webster also. Like
yeah. But I think uh, with so many injuries, I think they will definitely play both Green and Webster because only they will get enough bowling cover. Because even when Hazelwood and Cummins come back, maybe they are not 100% fit and they will still come back. And at that time,
say,
there is a risk that during the match, mid innings, they might get discomfort or they might not be able to bowl full fledged. So maybe that's when Webster and Green, having both of them in the team, will help.
I
see
mean, if
also
what?
the problem for
Sorry.
England is like they have injury prone bowlers in Archer, Hood, and Stokes, and
Ah,
like
this is the
if
thing. This
Australia
is the
manages
point
to bat
Yeah, but Wood is
over
I
100.
already
get.
rolled out, right?
No, no, Wood is playing. Wood is playing. Wood is fit now.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
this is the thing I wanted to say. I mean, this is a quite like interesting topic. I mean, see, England bowling is an issue that was quietly reflected in that India series. But the Australian conditions will be very, very different to what England played at India series. The lively pitches, which Australia has been making in recent 2 or 3 summers. So, if you remember from past series itself, like Kamal Joseph ran through Australia about the 7 for Bumrah last. So I don't think bowling will be a major issue for England this time. I mean, in bowling friendly decks currently, I don't think Archer will lead like 12 or like 40, 30 overs in a day. They can run through Australia batting lineup without bowling much. So I think it will be down to like who bats better in this top order. Like England also is vulnerable at top. It's Australia also. Like Khwaja, I mean, why is he playing this series? I don't know. Khwaja and Labuschagne and that new opener, whatever. So batting wise, top three are like on similar note. And the middle order, Root Brook is a main
Ye- Yeah, and
performer.
speaking about that bowling
Brook
point
has
you
played
made
on.
about the pitch, yeah, sorry
I
to
am
interrupt.
more
Yeah,
concerned
Speaking
Brook
about
has
about
proved
the
himself in New Zealand. Brook has proved himself in New Zealand conditions, very similar to like Australia. Yeah, he scored like 180 and 100 after like 3 down within 20 or 30 runs. So yeah, Brook will be a menace this time from
yeah,
England.
but Anand, recently, just 2, 3 days ago, Steve Smith made a comment saying that England have come with the fastest bowling attack, like because Wood, Archie can all hit 140 kilometers per hour. But nowadays, based on the conditions in Australia, it would have been much more ideal for them to have had James Anderson and Stuart Broad, because now there is more swing and seam on offer. So it's not ideal to have 140 kilometer, 140, 145 kilometer per hour bowlers like Archer and Wood. It is just Steve Smith saying.
Yeah, but the pace is the extra thing. The movement will be significant in that pace. Like previous summer, I was following ball by ball. Samar also bowled like 140 k's in that night game. So Australia was like just touching his ball and making two slip. Similarly, Bumrah did last season. I mean, he was streaming in and like just bowling to left-handers and he was getting wickets. So this is why I'm saying bowling won't be issue much. I mean, if the pitches were of like 2018 or 2020, then Australia will have won 3-1 or maybe like 3 or 4-0 also. But now I think England will win a game, and then it depends how they go, how their bowler like fielding.
And
I think
England, what do
Australia
you
should
think?
be.
Arnav, what do you think about England's best bowling attack?
Think they will play Wood, Archer, Cars, and maybe in like
Bashir.
Potts. No, Bashir
They've
is
got
back.
Atkins also, right? Got Atkinsons. He can also play.
Yeah, he will play
Yeah,
during the second, like one or two tests in between. Like they won't be playing Archer and Wood for all the 5 tests. That's
yeah, that is true.
But what about the spinner? Because I think Shoaib Bashir is their main spinner, right? Is it not?
I think they will be having Root as one of their spinners.
Okay.
And that guy, Brook also bowls medium pace.
Like it's already very difficult for a spinner to do well in Australia, and then you have Bashir who hasn't done that well in international cricket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bashir is a joke, Kaushik. Bashir doesn't know how to bowl. He just bowl. He hasn't done well in domestic cricket also.
I
Uh,
don't
Seen him in India's series. He has leaked so many runs. He has
I
got
don't
smashed by Rishabh Pant and that all, etc. So, and
I
when in India series, he hasn't done well. We have seen today Simon Hamad how he bowled. So, Bashir today, Bashir is not that quality of spinner who has done very well in first class cricket or domestic cricket. And he is not a spinner even. I don't think he's a spinner even. He's just kept because they don't have any extra spinner. Means they don't have quality spinners like Jack Leach. I think Jack Leach is also not playing any matches for England. So that is also a concern.
Yeah, do you remember that guy, Tom Hartley? The guy who took
Yeah.
7 for in that
England
first year.
England England once had Graham Shaw, was one of the finest spinners,
Uh,
and
Yeah.
Graham
and
Shaw.
he played a significant role in Ashes 2009 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Why didn't they pick Tom
India,
Hartley in the squad?
yeah, I mean, what is that guy, Tom Hartley? I mean, I have never seen him I mean, in that team after that India tour. He was great in that series.
Yeah, because I'm
Even
checking his record.
Dominic
He has
Bess also is a good spinner. Dominic Bess.
No, he was full toss only. He took wickets on full tosses.
But Tom
I
Hartley has a
mean,
good record. He has played 5 matches and has picked 22 wickets, which is decent enough.
yeah, he was good. And so, what's
See
your
the
prediction, bro?
and see the downside with baseball is that they will pick one player and they will keep backing him. Like
Yeah.
the same is with Oli Pope. Like he struggles a lot at number 3, but he still
Yeah.
keeps getting chances. So
Oli
and
Pope or
see,
Jacob Bethel, who would you prefer to bat at number 3 for England?
I have not been that impressed with Jacob Bethel as well. So like I would have rather had Root at number 3, but he doesn't want to bat at number 3. So
Bat at number 3.
So, but
And
so
with Australia, what would be your top three? Will you open with Labuschagne, or will you put Labuschagne at number three and bring Weatherald as opener?
see, problem is that if you have Khwaja and Labuschagne open the batting, then runs won't be coming. Like they don't know how to score runs at a rapid rate. And I've heard that Jake Weatherland is scores quickly, and that's why he has been selected in the squad.
Mhm.
So he's quite an aggressor.
Yeah,
But
he's like Warner type.
But from our point
That
earlier,
was
wanting to play both Green and Webster, if both are going to play, Green will definitely bat at number three and Webster at number six. So it would mean that Labuschagne and Khawaja are opening. But honestly, in my opinion, I would actually drop Khawaja and open with Labuschagne and Weatherald.
I don't see Khwaja getting dropped for the first test, at least for the first two tests. If he flops, then I think his career is over. Because like maybe for the first test we will have Khwaja and Weatherland opening, Labuschagne at number 3, Smith at number 4, and we have Travis Head at number 5, Cameron Green at number 6 maybe, and
Yeah.
Alex Carey at number 7.
But speaking about the attacking option which you wanted in the form of Weatherald, what about the suggestion which I and Mano Bro had made in the group before the World Test Championship final? Because we suggested maybe Head should open with Khawaja, because Head is more in the form of David Warner, like he's going to play aggressive, and then you can have
Like,
Labuschagne at number 3, Green at number 5, Webster at number 6.
like why would you risk Head as an opener? Like he could go and smash the old ball when the bowling attack of England is quite tired. Like no point
Yeah,
having Head get exposed to the new ball.
Mm.
yeah. Australia tried this. Australia tried it with Aaron Finch. Remember, Aaron Finch opening in BGT, Cooking
And
18.
Travis Head will be used as an opener in Asia, that's for sure. Like
Yeah,
even in Sri Lanka also you saw Head as an opener.
yeah.
So the strategy in Asia is like completely different from non-Asian conditions. Like in Asia, you need to cash in with the new ball, score as much as you can, and so
And
there
I
Travis
also
Head.
think a bold prediction of mine would be that Alex Carey will have a very good series, similar to what Brad Haddin had in 2013. So
Yeah,
Alex
Alex Carey
Carey,
is he knows how to bat with the tail also. He saved Australia numerous times in West Indies, and he also scored 100 in Sri Lanka also.
yeah, big knock, 150 something, 156 or 158.
Yeah, second test.
I think he's quite underrated with the bat. Like people don't appreciate his batting talent. Like
Yeah, he's
he,
also very beautiful and artistic to watch, similar in not like Martin, but at least it's
and
beautiful to watch him bat.
see, one of the reasons why Australia have been doing well in Asia is because of Carey, and because Carey knows how to sweep and how to reverse sweep. And
I mean,
like
Khwaja also, no? Khwaja's been playing.
Khwaja has been also great in Asian
Yeah,
conditions. Like
yeah. I mean, when Khwaja fought
see,
Kaushik, I remember he won a
there
ODI
was
series in continent. Kaushik, remember
there
ODI
was a
series
time when
in.
Khwaja was getting one or two in every inning in Asia, if you remember,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
would get dropped. He would be told to warm the bench. He would hardly get a game in Asia, and now he's one of the most important players.
yeah. I mean, if
Yeah,
Australia needs to win BG, I mean, in India or compete, he should be somewhere around the team, not in the team playing 11, but around as a coach or a batting mentor. I mean, if they want to win, no? And if they don't want to win, then
Dubai 2018 was Khwaja's turning point, if you remember.
yeah, he won the ODI series 3-2. Remember?
No, I'm talking about the test when Australia
Yeah,
saved with
that
the wicket
yeah,
from
2018. Yeah,
UAE knock 141. in 4
And he was made to open only because Renshaw got ill, right? He had food poisoning or something, and Renshaw
Head,
couldn't play that test.
head got
No, it was
positive, COVID positive. And then Khwaja came at middle order, scored double century. And in next game, that opener was dropped. What was his name? Marcus Harris. I think so. He was dropped.
Finch was an
So
opener there.
Yes,
Yeah.
Finch and Marcus Harris was opening in that BGT in 2018.
no, I mean I talked about 2020. I mean when he made comeback to Australia team in 2022. Before that,
2021 that
everybody
was, I think, right? When India won 2-1 in that BGT
No, he's talking about 2021-22 Ashes when Kavaja made comeback to the
Ashes.
team.
yeah,
Yes,
obviously
Marcus
Khwaja
Harris
made
batted in that Ashes also, I think. Marcus Harris scored something 60 odd runs in that Ashes.
Khwaja did well in that Ashes also, 2023 in UK one. Like he was player of match in the first time. But he should be like he shouldn't be playing this series. I think
Australia
Renshaw
Australia tried
and
like so many openers like Renshaw, Joe Burns, and Aaron Finch. None of them worked. And then they went back to
Cameron
Marcus Harris.
Khwaja,
Bancroft, Marcus Harris.
Bancroft, Marcus Harris. None of them like consistently performed. So they then
Yeah.
had to go back to Khwaja. And then he delivered.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Final thing. Ashes predictions. Maybe the score line. Who will win score line and maybe the best player of the series. Player of series. We can start, Krishna. What's your prediction?
Ashes scoreline, it will be 4-1 Australia.
And who will be your player of series?
Player of the series, I think it will be Stu Smith.
And you, Anand?
Hello.
Anand, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I mean 3-2 to any side. I mean Australia 3-2 and best player Manas Labuschagne and Joe Archer. Manas Labuschagne and Harry Brook. 3-2 to Australia.
Arnav?
I see. I read that the Brisbane Test will be a rain affected one. So likelihood that there will be a draw there. So, but it will also depend on how England cope up in the first test. A lot depends on the first test, I guess. If England do well, like they will have all the psychological edge going into the next four tests. But if they don't do well and they collapse badly, like they have done in the past, then I think they won't be able to cope up with the challenges. And so a lot depends on the opening test in Perth. But I would say right now I'm saying Australia have slight edge right now
Yeah.
because I think they have been a good test team over the last 4-5 years. There's no doubt about it. And England, they have been a good. England have also been a good team ever since baseball arrived. But they have struggled against two teams, and that's India and Australia.
Australia. Yeah.
So I would say
And
right now Australia have an edge. I would say three
who's your player of the series?
from Australia's side. I would say maybe I would say Scott Boland maybe could be player of the series, and from England side I would say Ben Stokes because Ben Stokes is bowling quite well, and if he delivers with the bat and with the ball, then I don't see anyone from the England team competing with him for player of the series.
Yeah. And I think it
But
would the same. I think it's similar. I think it will be 3-1 Australia with one washout probably in Brisbane, the third test. Uh, But I
No,
think player of
no.
series.
See. Wait, this time Adelaide is the third test Okay, and Brisbane is a denied test. So Brisbane is second game, and Adelaide is third. So I don't think
Okay.
there will be one.
Okay.
I don't think so. Also. Maybe Sydney can give Red out, but other than that, I don't see.
I think England will finally manage to win one test after 15 years. Like they'll win the first test since 2010 Australia. But overall, I think it will be 3-1 or 4-1 based on the rain in Brisbane. So it will be 3-1 or 4-1 Australia. And player of series from Australia's side, it would be probably Stark, because my heart keeps saying Stark, and with the bowling friendly pitches. And from England side, I agree with Arnav. I think it would most probably be Ben Stokes. He's looking in good form with both bat and ball, like we saw in the India series.
Do you think Joe Root will score century in Australia?
I think yes, he will finally manage to get 1-3 at least.
It will be difficult. It will be difficult for him.
I think he will
Like,
score in Perth. With
Every
comparison
great
with,
player has that one. Once every great player has that one country where he has struggled, like Ponting in India, and I would say even the greatest of the players, Root is one of the greatest of all time. There's no doubt about that. But I think in Australia they have had it. They have figured out his technique, and they hardly give any loose balls to him in Australia.
And Tendulkar struggled in English conditions.
Tendulkar struggled against Anderson a lot. James Anderson. If you see, James Anderson dominated Tendulkar. Even in ODI, Sean Pollock dominated Tendulkar.
Okay.
But
Okay, guys.
as
Thank you for your
But
time.
Steve Smith doesn't have any weakness. He has scored a century in every countries. Steve Smith.
yeah, he is a modern
Yeah,
day
but
Steve
player.
Smith, I would say that Steve Smith, if there's one country where he has like not done that well compared to his standard, is South Africa. I would say.
South Africa, yeah. Only one
Like
century, but also probably because in 2018 it was that controversial series, so you can at least have an
now,
excuse. And
if you see, even in 2016 home series, Smith struggled against South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa. I mean,
he can maybe rectify it next year in 2026 when Australia travel to South Africa for a 3-match test series.
yeah, it will be
Hopefully
brutal
that's
series.
his
I
year.
mean, yeah, I mean, it will be a brutal series that I can surely say from now on. I mean, South Africa will get under Australia's skin, that's for sure. They will try about sandpaper, and now they have WTC also. So yeah, that will be brutal series for Australia. And yeah, if why this series isn't like honored? I mean, Australia has honored every opposition. Like they honored Pakistan with a like Bennett Carter Trophy, and Sri Lanka like won World Series. Australian South Africa series haven't been honored. I mean, what's the reason? Any possible reason why this series haven't got any hype like BG or SS?
I think problem is that South Africa are not that like prioritizing Test cricket the way they should have.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but they used to
and
prioritize no. But earlier in
hopefully they
2000,
like when Australia will go to South Africa, hopefully there will be a build up to that
Yeah,
yeah,
series. Like
but it will
yeah,
definitely
in
be there
2008,
because of what happened last time. This time next year when Australia travels, there will definitely be a good build up.
yeah, but
even when South
but
Africa
in
toured
2000,
Australia in 2022, I guess there was not that much of a build up.
yeah,
Like
I mean, in 2008, when South Africa won in Australia, yeah, this was Australia first defeat after like 15 years. After 1990s, they won first time. They lost first time at home. So that rivalry should have gained popularity that time only. Then Australia went to South Africa and Thompson won the Player of Series and they won again. So that time only, 2008, 2009, these two cities were like shared. and for the next series onwards, the rivalry should have got hype or like honored from that point only. But now South Africa have started playing T20 and now they don't prioritize test. So even if it gets honored,
See,
uh, the
problem
rivalry
is
won't
that
be good.
the problem is that South Africa have given 1 month of their home schedule to SA20, which is owned by Indian investors. So like they have sort of like said that Test cricket is not that important for us. We have to make money from the T20 league. So, and it's quite unfortunate because when we were growing up, South Africa were one of the most dominant teams.
Mhm.
They hardly lost an away series from 2016 2015 end,
Okay.
and now
Yeah,
like
Okay, guys.
yeah,
that's why
that's
I
why
have
it's Australia
problems.
and South Africa series
I have
become that
problems
fight.
with cricket, man. Like where are we going? Where like we have put Test cricket. We have not given any importance to Test cricket. We have like we have like allowed Indian investors to control the market now, and they are like asking to have every team to have their T20 leagues. Like
Yeah,
we have.
yeah, yeah.
There was a time when we had ODI tri series. Now teams are hardly playing 3 to 5 ODIs per year.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay,
T20
guys.
leagues are
It
killing.
was good. Nice talking to you all. It was good fun. Hopefully, we can keep this going for all test matches.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to have everyone here. Their
Yeah,
opinions, give out their opinions. Was
Okay, guys.
I would like to thank Kosik for the opportunity.